Hello, welcome back to the what? Hello, welcome back to the Serial and
Just
Toast.
go.
You're interrupting me while I'm doing it. Hello, welcome
I'm
back.
not.
Can you not hear me?
I can.
Okay. Hello, welcome back to the Serial and Toast Politics Podcast. This is episode 4. I'm here with Tonga. I'm White. Say hello.
Hi, it's me.
Wow, genius.
There's a comma between those me's.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. As I said, genius. So, we're going to have things, as usual. They might not be good things. Hopefully they will be good things. It's been a while since our last episode, so there's a lot of news. We're also going to discuss, in particular, infrastructure, the voting rights and filibuster news as of late. And we're going to have a special segment from a scrap time where we tried to record the podcast with a special guest, Fluffy. We're going to have him on 10 days ago to discuss foreign affairs, I think. Greetings, this is Editing White. I looked at the Fluffy tapes again for the first time in like 2 weeks, and it's longer than I thought, so that'll probably be a mini episode instead, but we're not including it on this podcast. Enjoy listening, thank you. And then after that, the podcast will likely end, and there's also a segment, there's also a random segment on religion, I think. So let's get into it. News since the last episode. As usual, the news since the previous episode. The previous episode was like over a month ago now. So there's going to be a lot of things. Would you like to guess what the things are?
Me?
Yes.
Would you like me to?
Yes.
Oh.
As a guide, you literally
some
have
of those things.
As a guide, you have the notes we took of the scrapped recording session of the news since the last episode of that time, 10 days ago.
Okay, so basically, everyone's debating, but not really, because everyone agrees on whether Biden will sign the infrastructure bill. And a building fell over, not fell over, but collapsed in on itself in a similar fashion to how the Twin Towers did.
It's not actually that
in the
simple.
9/11 terrorist attack.
Yeah, we should say here our hearts go out to the victims of the suicide condo collapse. Horrible thing that happened. I'm very sorry. Other things, I'll just name the things that you said happened in the last episode. We have the G7 meeting, you and Fluffy. Biden met with like people from the UK. He also met Putin. There was a Tulsa riot anniversary. More infrastructure negotiations. Juneteenth became a federal holiday. Happy Juneteenth. And yeah, that's some, but not all the things that happened. It's been a while. Oh, yeah, also the voting, other things we're going to discuss later on. The, for the People Act about filibuster, management released its proposed revisions to it. There's various leaked audio, then discussing the filibuster, so many things. Oh, so much fun. Okay. So let's get on to the first topic, which is infrastructure news. Isn't that your favorite, Tonga?
Yeah, I like infrastructure.
Wow, don't we all?
Is
it Infrastructure Week?
Vastness.
Okay. So infrastructure news. Since the previous episode, oh God, I don't really remember. I think in the previous episode, Biden had already just then broken office negotiations with Shelley Moore Capito and her group of 10 Republicans, and started negotiations with a different bipartisan group, which like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema were in. And at the time, a lot of people were pretty dismissive of this, probably us included. But they do seem to have reached a deal. The 10 Democrats and 10 Republicans without the Biden administration, on like 1 point something trillion dollars in infrastructure, although only like 500 something billion of it is new spending. And it doesn't address the climate crisis or the human infrastructure or the American Families Plan in its entirety. So it's a deal. So like that's cool if you're into that sort of thing. Other than that, though, it's not great, and it's worse than the American Jobs Plan. So but they, as politicians do, they had like a big not ceremony. They had a big press conference where like all the people were there and Joe Biden was there, and they're like, "Yay, we reached an infrastructure deal." And then Joe Biden said the thing that everybody's known for like ages, which is that if there's a bipartisan deal, it's not going to. The Democrats don't want it to pass without a separate reconciliation bill with some or all the rest of their priorities. And he said what everybody at the time assumed was a veto threat. That he would veto it if they didn't also have a reconciliation bill with Democratic priorities in it, which would be reconciliation bill as a small filibuster rant recap would be a filibuster-proof bill. So that'd be basically a Democrats only bill to go along with that bipartisan bill. And you might ask, what's the point of a bipartisan bill if the Democrats are just going to steamroll through the rest of their priorities that got compromised out? And the answer to that is not much. But Joe Manchin says yes, and it might be politically beneficial to one or both sides. I'm actually not sure who politically benefits. We can discuss it later. But what's important is that Joe Biden basically threatened that without the reconciliation bill, he wouldn't sign the other bill and the bipartisan bill. And everybody sort of freaked out about this, and it looked like the deal might collapse. But then he walked those comments back. You might think that that's a big win for the Republicans because it means that that one of the bills can pass without the other by bipartisan bill, which has much less stuff in it and doesn't like address climate change or any of the things that Republicans don't want to do. But the House, Nancy Pelosi still has said that she won't take up the bipartisan bill. She doesn't intend to until the reconciliation bill is already on the track to passage or passing the Senate or up in the Senate or something. And Chuck Schumer still doesn't want, the Senate Majority Leader still doesn't want one either. So it still looks like impossible that there's going to be one but not the other. The reconciliation bill would also collapse without the bipartisan deal probably. So it looks like we're going to get both. If you're wondering what Joe Manchin's position on this is, then hats off to you because you should be wondering that. He has acknowledged that some form of reconciliation bill will be inevitable in his words, I believe, and he doesn't really. Oh, and Bernie Sanders has been cooking up his $6 trillion bill, which is larger than what Biden wanted in the first place, because they put Bernie Sanders in charge of it, and that's what he does. And Joe Manchin wants way less than that, and probably less than what Biden originally proposed if you can combine it with the bipartisan bill. But still a good amount of money, like probably I think he said like $2 trillion, and just a reminder, it's like $500 billion or so of new spending in the bipartisan deal. So that's a lot of money, and maybe it'll be politically worth in the midterms to have done that bipartisanship thing. At the very least, it does prove that you can get Republican votes on things, but it's a very wacky situation. And a lot has been happening without much changing for a while, although we have gotten somewhere since like the last episode, certainly. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Tonga?
I think that Biden is being based by forcing a Democrat bill with Democrat things in order to pass the bipartisan one. And I think that optimally he would go so far as to like do that whole thing where he completely ignores everything the Republicans say and does everything through executive action, at least that is within his power to do through executive action, that the Democrats want to happen.
Okay. I mean, I agree with all those things. I mean, I don't know what exactly the maximum limit of the executive action is, and you can't really do that much for executive action on infrastructure. But I'm sure Pete
Well, at
Buttigieg.
least not much that can't just be turned back in 4 years.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, infrastructure is new spending though, so it's like I don't know.
That's
The DOT
pretty
is
cool.
working on it. But
And I think I also think it's rather based that Bernie is chair of the Senate Budget Committee.
I know, like, nobody talks about the fact we have a socialist, like a literal, like somebody who's not a capitalist, is the chairman of the Senate's Budget Committee. It's like that's sort of a big deal, and like you look at like the things that have been happening in there, like it shows. It's really lit. Like people, progressives, like they talk all the time about like how like centrist Democrats are. Like they put him in charge. Like I know it's true seniority, but like it's a big deal. Like this is a real coalition, I think, in the Democratic primary and in the Democratic Party. It's very beautiful.
Wait, it's through seniority?
Oh yeah, no, Bernie Sanders, he's been in the Senate for like a while. I think that's why he's chairman, I think.
Yeah, but like, what about Patrick Lee?
I mean, yeah, but he's like not on that committee.
Whatever.
Leahy.
Oh,
Okay.
it's based. Wait, how did Bernie get in that committee though?
I don't know. They put him on that committee. It's not like it's like entirely like I don't know. Chuck Schumer and Harry Reid did that. They're based people. I know. The Senate Democratic leadership is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine being 78 years old and still being the junior senator from your state.
Wait. Oh yeah. That's. I know, right?
No, he's older than
So
78.
relatable.
He's like.
He is 78. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, no. Bernie Sanders is the junior senator. I've heard that.
He's 79.
God. 79.
He's almost 80.
Oh wait, that reminds me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I must interrupt now. To say, since our last episode, former Senator Mike Gravel of Alaska, has very sadly passed away. He was a former presidential candidate who electrified many in the Democratic primary party.
Oh, that man. That's sad.
Nothing. Yeah, I told you about it. It's very sad, and he was lit. Hopefully, the teenagers who controlled his not quite yet dead body as a puppet for social media and to try to get on a debate stage. Hopefully, they have a great career. Yeah, his family. I don't know. Like I heart out to them as well. Very sad. He was very based. He did he leaked he didn't leak the Pentagon Papers, but he put them in a congressional record after they were leaked. Good guy. More people should know about him. A lot of people did know about him after 2020. Good thing. So anyway, moving on. Who do you think benefits from this like two-track approach with the bipartisanship that the moderates want and the unilateral reconciliation bill that the progressives want, although scaled down? Like who within the Democratic Party, who within the Republican Party, and then which party do you think benefits more in the midterms?
Within the Democratic Party?
I'm really not sure about this. I want to hear what you think.
Probably just sort of like I don't know. There's a lot of Democrats who like aren't particularly progressive or like centrist. Well, I guess centrist, but like not in United States terms.
That's actually a good point.
I honestly kind of imagine.
What? Sorry.
Like, there's a lot of senators you don't really think about that are just sort of in the middle of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. I would agree. I think it's like it's a bit. I mean, it's sort of a win for Manchin, and I guess it's bipartisanship. It's sort of a win for like the moderates.
That's
it's
true.
Sort of a win
I mean,
for
in terms of
but
for
in the end, more of an. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I mean, can't really say how it would affect their reelection, or anything like that. Like, or I guess how, which is probably the most important thing to any individual senator.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's but within in a factional sense of the Democratic Party, I think it probably, I think what you're saying is correct. It probably benefits the establishment like more than the moderate
Yeah,
wing
I
or the
guess.
progressive wing, because if this gets done in the way that it looks like it might get done right now, which is not at all certain, we must say, like this could collapse. The reconciliation could collapse. The bipartisan deal could collapse. All of it could just fall apart. Who knows? But if it goes through, it's going to be a major. Sorry, if it goes through, it's going to be like doing both of them simultaneously, which is like I don't know. It shows the Democratic leadership's it shows their strength that they would be able to get both of those done and get a political win for the moderates without sacrificing a lot of the infrastructure and families plans. I think it's I don't know. I think it would be quite remarkable if they did. I think it's remarkable the Republicans, like they seem to, even though there's still little chance that even though it still seems very unlikely that the House would even like vote on the bipartisan deal before the reconciliation bill with the families plan and the human infrastructure gets out of the Senate or is on a glide path through the Senate. It's even so, the Republicans seem to be actually on board with passing it in that form. Enough of them, and I think that's a win for them, for the Democrats and for the moderates and probably for the progressives as well. I think it's cool, but it could also benefit some within the Republican Party. I was curious what you think about that. Like, I don't think it benefits the Senate Republican leadership, certainly, or maybe it sort of does. But Mitch McConnell,
Yeah, of course not that. Well,
but like it doesn't benefit
Mitch
hard right.
McConnell,
But like, do you think it benefits?
of course.
Like, do you think that this is actually a good deal for the moderate Senate Republicans, or do you think that they're making a strategic error or getting like outplayed somehow in this situation?
I mean, in moderate Senate Republicans, I don't really see how it could like hurt them, honestly. At least in terms of like their elections and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, actually, I guess they can tout the deal as well. It seems like dumb that they would do that and then just get steamrolled and get everything that they compromised out of it removed. But I guess the fact that they did get some, like possibly, it's not clear what some hypothetical unilateral approach where the deal collapses, where the deal hadn't happened and Manchin got on board would be like. It would probably be a similar amount of money at the end, though. I think you're. Yeah, I think you have a good point. It can't hurt them and they can tout it. So I guess it's good for them too. So it's basically I guess it's good for everybody but the Senate Republican leadership, basically.
Okay.
In a way. On policy it's sort of
does Joe Biden not like the bipartisan bill because of the fact that he's like,
oh no, he does. He's touting it, and like it's sort of a proof of his and some of the not necessarily moderate, but like some of the I mean, it's sort of a proof of their case that you can still get things done on a bipartisan basis. A lot of people doubted that you could get anything with Republican votes. And
okay, but
it came together.
In that case,
it seems like it'll come together. Again,
so despite the fact that he does like the bipartisan bill, he's still not going to sign that unless the Democrat one passes. Or is he like,
no, he
I can't, because if you actually think it's good, then.
Well, I mean, no, he had to. I think I said this earlier. If not, I'm explaining this very poorly. But he had to walk back those remarks, even though it was like, very clear that that's what he said. He had to like say, "Oh, that's totally not what I meant." Somehow, even though I said that I like wouldn't sign the other bill if we didn't get both.
Okay.
He walked it back, and
so he is gonna sign it then. There's no reason.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, yeah, he said that they're separate, and he's not relying on one to do the other. But the thing is
Yeah.
that the congressional Democrats don't like Pelosi in the House
Oh.
and Schumer and like the Senate progressives and Schumer to another extent, they still aren't going to allow they still aren't going to allow the bipartisan bill to pass without the reconciliation bill. So that's what I was saying. Like a lot happened, like especially like last week and this weekend, but like nothing really changed in that regard. It still looks like there's no path to just the bipartisan bill passing without, or if there is, it involves Pelosi or Schumer caving. Well, Pelosi would have to cave, and also Schumer would have to possibly cave. But I think his position is less staunch on the matter. So that's that. Do you have any more thoughts on that situation? I think it's quite interesting. It'll be interesting to see where it lands. It's whether it'll matter for the midterms. I'm not sure. Who do you think this helps for the midterms? Do you think that's salient of an issue?
Oh. I honestly, I don't. I guess it would probably lean towards helping the Democrats a little more in the midterms, simply because like it benefits a lot more of them than it does Republicans.
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think, as we were saying earlier, though, like if you're Susan Collins, maybe she was already up for re-election, but if Susan Collins had been up for re-election,
but it would still,
she'd probably like that a lot.
But then again, the Republicans that it doesn't benefit, such as like I'm just thinking of off the top of my head, although Mitch McConnell doesn't have a Senate election, but like for Republicans like Mitch McConnell, I don't really think it would like hurt
Well, I
them
mean, what you
a
have
whole
to
lot.
remember is that like the most moderate senators aren't necessarily the ones in the most like purple states. Like Wisconsin
Yeah, that's
has
true,
Ron
of course.
Johnson,
Vermont.
whereas Utah
Vermont has Patrick Leahy.
Patrick Leahy is not. He's a Democrat.
Yes, but he's moderate.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. Vermont's wacky, man. There's like weird stuff happening in New England.
He's only moderate because he got into the Senate a very long time ago, though.
Have you ever been to New England? Is New England real?
Yeah, I've been to Maine.
Huh. What was it like? Were there cultures there?
There's a lot of like space between the houses in suburbs.
Okay.
And a lot of lighthouses.
Well, anyway, I would agree. Like there are, I don't know, I don't think it benefits like the most vulnerable Senate targets, if you look at the map, this time around aren't like ones who are signed on to this deal. Like Ron Johnson, if we keep all our incumbents and we take Ron Johnson's seat, and I don't think he's signing on to this, he's like a Trumpy guy, then we have 51 votes.
Okay.
We take somebody else, we have 52 votes. And if we keep the House, then the filibuster's gone, basically. That's the point. Not necessarily, but that's probably around the point you can start doing like court packing and all the fun stuff. So hopefully we get there. That's the goal in the midterms.
And for a large portion of senators, I'm not entirely certain like what states have like moderate versus not moderate senators for either party.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Of course, I know a few, but like, I'm not entirely sure, which is why I can't say like a whole lot about how I think it would affect them in terms of like the midterms. But yeah, like
I mean, yeah.
I mean, of course, there are some that I do know. Like,
it's weird. I know. Like, but like fun fact: there's a U.S. senator whose name is Tina Smith from Minnesota. She's like literally in office right now, and you may have never heard from her. It's like 100 people.
I haven't.
Like you look her up, and like there's like nothing. Like it's weird. Like people, like 100 people in such an important role. Or like Tina Smith, if she wanted to, could suddenly go Joe Manchin, and she could end the infrastructure. She could end the reconciliation bill. She could kill it right now. She has so much power, and nobody has any idea who she is or cares. It's weird. And there are lots of people. Like 100, it's not that many, but like even like people who pay a lot of attention to politics have no idea who a lot of them are.
I probably couldn't name more than like maybe 10 senators.
I can name more than that. I think I was able to name even more back like earlier this year, but I don't know. I can't name that many.
Maybe
That's
I can
a game
name
we
like,
can do maybe, but not right now.
More, maybe hardly more than that, if that.
Yeah. Well, that was a good discussion. Let's move on now to our next topic. And our next topic is going to be the thing where you turn to a random page in the Bible and you talk about the Bible and then maybe about religion more broadly. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Go to a random page in the Bible, not the one you have bookmarked. I don't want to know, like a page, a real random page, a really random page, and read it. Or read
Or
part
would I
of it.
just go through them all in my mind and recite the verse that randomly pops up?
For an atheist, you know a lot of the Bible. No, please just go to a page. It's more fun that way.
Fine. Okay, sure.
Do a Bible analysis. Oh, by the way, Tonga's
Psalm
atheist.
73.
Okay, read it.
What do you mean pretty atheist?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't like.
Psalm 73. Psalm 7. You know, I should probably just. No, Psalm is dumb. I'm sorry. We can't do Psalm. It's gonna have to be a different book. Okay, Joshua. Should I start at the beginning of the first new chapter on this page?
I guess I don't really understand the Bible. Maybe
The
just do a
sun
verse.
stands.
Just do a verse. Just do a verse.
Okay. When King Adoni-Zedek of Jerusalem heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, doing to Ai and its kings as he had done to Jericho and its king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, he became greatly frightened because Gibeon was a large city, like one of the royal cities, and was larger than Ai, and all its men were warriors. So King Adoni-Zedek of Jerusalem sent a message to sorry, that's not Adoni, that's Adonai. I know that. Why did I King Adoni-Zedek of Jerusalem sent a message to King Hoham of Hebron, to King Piram of Jarmuth, to King Japhiah of Lachish, and to King Debir of Eglon, saying, "Come up and help me, and let us attack Gibeon, for it has made peace with Joshua and with the Israelites." Then the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon, gathered their forces and went up with all their armies and camped against Gibeon and made war against it.
Is that, and I assume that's like is that a Hebrew Bible or is it it sounds like
the Old Testament is basically just the Hebrew Bible.
I mean, is that the Old Testament or is it Hebrew Bible?
It's the Old Testament.
Okay. Fun. Honestly, I sort of forgot about that. I was assuming there'd be more.
Hebrew Bibles can only be written in Hebrew.
Oh, that sort of makes sense, you know. Why did I think of that?
No, like seriously, that's a rule.
Oh,
like
no, I know. I'm
Torah.
just saying, like that.
The Torah can only be written in Hebrew.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it makes sense why that's the name.
By hand.
Oh, that's.
And if you mess up, you have to start over.
Damn. Wait, really?
Someone taught me that. Cap taught me that.
Ooh, crossover. He didn't invite me to his birthday celebration, and I'm leaving that in there. Okay.
Oh.
Damn, I know. Throwing shade in the podcast. He's not going to listen to it, so I can say whatever I want about him. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that Bible verse, Tonga? Also, that's actually really interesting. We can just talk about the Hebrew Bible later.
I guess it was just I don't know. It was just 5 seemingly city-states declaring war on a larger city-state.
What do you think it means?
It's as simple as that. I mean, people always say that you should like interpret the Bible however you want, as if like the entire thing is just constructed of a bunch of different metaphors just to make Christianity as widely, like, I guess, universally reasonable seeming as possible, but in reality, it's just stupid. The Bible is meant to be interpreted literally.
Is it?
It is the word of the Lord.
I thought the Old Testament was like not the word of the Lord.
Well, I mean, it's not, but like it was written by people who claimed to speak for him. So
The Old Testament was written before that. That's like the point. I don't think
the Old Testament was written.
Isn't the Old Testament like
It
about
was
stuff that
written.
happened before Jesus?
Yes,
So then how do they speak for the Lord?
there were other like messiahs before Jesus.
Okay, I'm really
You
good.
know, like Moses.
Yeah, no, but is Moses the Lord too? I think the Lord
No,
referred
that's
to Jesus.
yeah.
So then you're wrong.
Wait, well, okay, well, the Bible's just it's written by people who claim to speak for the Lord in the Bible, at
Okay.
least. That is, they claim to speak for the Lord.
Oh, so we're writing some things that happened before. Okay, I don't really. Okay, sure. Let's just.
It,
We're good at this. We're good at
like
theology.
Moses.
Yeah. Why do you like know so much about this if you're an atheist? I mean, I'm also like not like a Christian really, but like
I you've said it. I'm just gonna use your own words. Like I I just wanted to be as based of an atheist as I can be.
well, I mean, you're doing a good job. If you're wondering, I'm personally, I don't really know. Like I'm not sure if I'm entirely like atheist. I'm certainly not as anti-religion as you are, but I don't know.
Do you believe that the Christian God is real?
No, not really. I mean, I believe in some God. I don't really take it that literally, like what's in the
Do you
Bible.
believing there's a higher power is like you I think the word atheist is just what
I
people
don't
should
believe the
use to
world was
describe
created in
themselves if
7
they
days.
do not
So
believe any of their religions.
wait,
Yeah,
actually,
you
the Earth was created in 7 days, just 7 days on a different planet. Like I'm sure there's a planet somewhere in the universe that rotates at such a speed that 7 of its rotations, the Earth was created in that time, arguably.
sure.
See?
I bet there's
I'm the
someone
best. I'm
somewhere
the best
who
Christian.
interprets
I'm the
that.
best
I
Christian.
bet
My
there's
mom
someone
took me to
somewhere.
church when I was
I
5.
bet, I bet there is someone somewhere who interprets the Bible that way.
Wow, it's me. That little girl was me. Damn, I'm smart.
The
Okay.
Earth took 500 million years to form.
Well, that's sort of hard. Uh, over like $500 billion on the infrastructure bill. Deal.
So, you said you may believe in like some God. It's not a God. You just believe there is a higher power. There's something that caused the
Yeah.
creation of the universe.
Don't know. I'm not like really like aggressively opposed to any religion.
You shouldn't
I haven't
describe
thought about
it.
it much.
You should not describe it as like a God, though. If you do not believe there is an actual like conscious being that intentionally created everything, or at least not like one that is all powerful.
I mean, yeah, I suppose you're right. I don't know. I don't really like have a problem with like taking learning to different religions, even I don't literally believe it. So I don't like
Yeah, of course.
describe myself
And
as completely.
there's no such thing. Like the vast majority of atheists are like what some people say are agnostic, but saying you're agnostic is just kind of like a lame way that people use to get out of answering the question, what religion are you of?
I mean, yeah, don't know. I don't really like answering it.
Atheists who are not agnostic would be someone who actively believes that there is no God under any circumstance, or there's no like
I don't know.
actually
I mean, I think an atheist may be
that's
able to believe in a higher power. I don't know. I don't really know what
I
I
was thinking
am.
of it as not as
We should
okay,
like
cool.
have as many words for religions as we do for sexual orientations. Actually, we do is we have more words for religions than sexual orientations. We just don't have the right words.
We have true.
Like we can have like we can talk about like a billion denominations of Protestantism, but like not like
Wait,
categories of beliefs about higher powers, not in like some non-academic language.
let's start making parallels between religions and sexual
This is going to be a
orientations.
really meandering episode, but I'm here for it. I'm enjoying this. Let's go.
So I guess we can start off by equating atheism to asexuality, I think.
Can you? I mean, sort of. To the extent you can compare anything, I guess that makes sense. Is
What do you mean?
Christianity being straight then? I mean, it's not very comparable, but I'm saying so many. Oh my lord, that's well. You said something more offensive than all the things I said this segment. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this audio. Let's just move on now. On that note. So let's move on to voting rights and filibuster news. So since the last episode, since the last episode, I think I was like hyping up the commission vote then. We've had another filibuster. Joe Manchin, he said he wasn't going to support HR 1, the For the People Act. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act, if you're wondering, isn't that's another thing, but that's not going to be up until I think fall. The For the People Act, though, he put his suggested changes to it as like he thought a possible compromise for bipartisanship. He publicly released them. It's basically the Democratic Party line now. Basically, Bernie Sanders and like some other people weren't there, but like that is what would happen if it weren't filibustered. And because of that, Joe Manchin and it did vote to begin debate, as did, or I like to close debate on proceeding to it, because that's the way the Senate works. All 50 Democrats voted to close debate on proceeding to the bill, but none of the Republicans did. So it's a 50-50 vote. You need 60 votes. And so even though a majority, because Kamala Harris would have broken the tie if she was able to, even though a majority supported it, it died because that's the filibuster, and it's like not good. You can see my filibuster rant for more on that, but as the political people would say, the path is now uncertain on the bill. It's very, unless somehow Manchin is convinced to, well, it's not just him, but like, oh, that's the filibuster news. Two bits of filibuster news. First of all, Senate parliamentarian was saying, I already released a video about this ages ago, but she's clarified some things about the way that the budget reconciliation procedures worked, which means we can only use it once more this year and then like once more next year, but that's so close to the midterms that probably won't work. So
that's stupid.
President. It's you can listen to my filibuster
That's
rant.
Stupid.
You can listen to my filibuster rant part 3 or whatever. It's a video I made about it if you want more information on how exactly. I mean,
that's just a very stupid government.
I mean, I don't think the parliamentarian is wrong. She has a job of like interpreting this mess of rules.
Well, yeah.
Like bad, but it's not.
Wait, what is the Senate? What is a parliamentarian?
Elizabeth McDonough.
Yeah, what are they like? It's just one person who.
I mean, she has assistant.
Are they like voted on by the Senate to do a thing?
Mitch McConnell, the Republicans also appointed her. I think she could theoretically be fired by the majority leader, but like, it's not like people say like unelected parliamentarian. It's not really. I mean, like.
I guess I mean, there's a lot more things. There's a lot more things fucked about like our government, and as long as they're trying their best to sort of like do stuff the best they can with whatever system we currently have.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Like, people complain about unelected parliamentarian making these decisions, but like, you read the Senate rules, you'll probably come to the same conclusion if you read enough of them, and the precedents, and the laws that affect it, and like all the other nonsense that's in there. It's so much. The resolutions, they're like, it's a complete mess. But if you But I don't think the problem is that the parliamentarians there, and I don't really dispute necessarily her opinion on it, or yeah, it is just an opinion. But the presiding officer is expected to rule that way, so it won't happen. So we only have one reconciliation bill. The other thing though is that Manchin said that he, in leaked audio published by The Intercept, that he was open to more modes of filibuster reform than people had previously thought. Apparently, the non-eliminating or weakening of the filibuster thing doesn't preclude measures such as possibly, I think he said he was open to even lowering the filibuster, the threshold, maybe to like 55 or something. Or talking filibuster, or making some of 41 votes against and not 60 votes for. All the stuff that people have been talking about apparently is still open to thinking about it. So whether anything will come of that is unclear, but it means that there is at least theoretically possibly a path for things that people thought were hopeless after the op-ed that was published in like late March or early April. So that's good news, I guess. Oh, by the way, he was talking to a ton of centrist, rich, billionaires about like influencing other. Like it was like a conversation that like he should not have been having, and it's messed up that we live in a system where he was able to, where those people and that group that he was talking to exists. He was like talking about like, oh, my retiring Republican colleague Roy Blunt, he's gonna he may be able to have a job with one of you at some point. So like, go politically influence him in a way that's illegal. That's not quite what he said, but like, you know, like that's, I don't blame him for like trying everything he can to get people, like if that's his thing. But like the billionaires who are that's like they're bad. They're bad. But what matters is the audio was leaked, and the things that Manchin said mean that maybe there's a very, very narrow path for something like the something like the For the People Act in this case, or some of the other stuff. For the People Act, by the way, as a reminder, I think we talked about before, but it's like ending gerrymandering, public financing of elections, like other stuff that like people don't really remember, but like makes it like it counteracts, you know, like most of what not all people think it's flawed in a lot of ways, and it will have to be changed a lot if the filibuster was eliminated. But in addition to Manchin suggested changes, which are like voter ID and things, but it's a lot of things that are extremely important to reforming our democracy and counteracting the Republican takeover of a lot of states, and the creeping authoritarianism and Jim Crow, things like the Georgia voting law and the Texas voting law, the Florida voting law, a lot of things, you know, fun, bad stuff. So yeah, but maybe there's a path for stuff like that. Maybe. Cinema has not. I don't think she's rejected any of this stuff, but she hasn't. She hasn't said that she'll support it. There are probably other people. There are other people hiding behind them, from what I understand. So it's a very narrow path. But if they can like really piss off Manchin and those people who are hiding behind him, then there is some chance maybe that the filibuster will be modified. Maybe in a way where something that can't currently pass can pass. So that's the filibuster news. That's the voting rights news. Thoughts?
Okay, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, and I don't really have like any like really like strong opinions to share about like most or really any of it. I guess just my only thought would be that it's just, I don't know, everything you said is just, I guess, further evidence on already large pile that our government just is not, it's just not like, it's a lot of it sounds like, I don't really know necessarily what word to describe it. It's just like
It's not built for the people
so
it's built for.
not smooth. Yeah.
It's a mess. It's showing its age in a lot of ways. Our democracy is it's sick. It's ill. That's
Well, and of course, yeah, and of course on the issues of like gerrymandering and whatnot of Republicans to further solidify their control in states, that's pretty bad. It's it's just making it extremely difficult to
Wait, can you repeat
every
that?
every
Wait,
new.
sorry. Can you repeat that? You took your headphone, like your audio off, and that's gonna sound weird.
Okay. Like every new census, it just with the Republicans like further solidifying their control in the states where they can, is kind of I guess every new census, it's more and more or less and less possible for that cycle to break, which is kind of worrying, I guess, is my only like strong opinion on
It's
what you just said.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, that was just that's one of those segments where I'm just going to like sort of rant about the news, and then
Yeah,
there's not that much to say on it other than that's all stuff that happened. And I mean, I don't know, a bit of that's like my opinion on interpreting things, and there's a lot of stuff to be said on that, but I think we've covered most of it before. It is good news with the Manchin thing. It sucks that we have somebody like him as our 50th vote, but it was
yeah.
if you can still, I think it's
He is literally
America was saying like if you have the capacity for hope anymore, then it would be hopeful, which is
he is literally the most left-wing person that West Virginia could possibly elect to fill a Senate seat. So
I mean, I don't know if John Denver ran, maybe he would win.
I guess in that case we have it best case, but of course optimally he would not be what makes our Senate majority a majority, or at least yeah, a lot of people would.
Wait,
it's kind of whack how Georgia.
we
literally won both for the Senate seats.
Apparently, according to Wikipedia, John Denver's real name is Henry John Deutschendorf Jr. Huh. Well,
wait.
That sounds like an illegal immigrant. West Virginia wouldn't elect him.
Is Ossoff or Warnock the junior senator from Florida? Okay. Ossoff Florida. I guess was in office before. Ossoff was in office a few days before.
I actually no. I think Warnock's the senior senator. Technically.
Really? Is it based on why?
Oh wait. Okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
Wait, no, sorry, no, I'm remembering now. They both came into office at the same time, but Warnock's predecessor, Perdue, Warnock's predecessor, Loeffler, wait, no. Sorry, no.
I'm just gonna look it up.
I'm getting confused. I don't know. Loeffler was out of Senate before Perdue was, because Loeffler had the seat that was filled in a special election, which is, that's
John Ossoff is the senior senator.
Huh? How? I think it's just done at that point by like other tiebreakers because they were sworn in at the same time.
That's just what the johnossoff.senate.gov website says.
Yeah. In truth, they were sworn in at the same time, just like for practical reasons. But I think theoretically, I think like the moment the special election ended and Loeffler, because the term
Warnock was the special election, so.
Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Sorry, no, it's because it wasn't a special election. That's why it was the non-special election. It's Perdue who was out because his term ended on January 1st. Because his term ended January 3rd and the runoff hadn't happened yet. And so he was out temporarily, and there was a vacancy there, which is why he didn't vote.
Makes sense.
That's why he didn't vote in the January 6th like vote after the insurrection took place. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry, Perdue. I don't really. We might.
Ossoff is the senior senator. Bit off topic, but
I don't think that's why he is, but or maybe it is.
Well, I don't really care. I was just kind of curious as to which was, since I just thought of the fact that they got in office at the same time.
But Warnock's the one who's up for re-election next. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Don't know if any of that made sense to you listeners at home, if you're listening to this. So, do you have anything more to say on that topic, Bo? Also, sorry I interrupted you for John Denver.
Nope.
What were you saying there? I don't think it was much.
I have nothing to say.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll go to the outro now. This has been a fun episode. We had some good discussions. I don't know how I'm going to edit it. Like, there's good stuff here, but I'm
Well, yeah, up to you.
It's gonna be fun. I'll send it to you obviously before. Anything else you'd like to say in conclusion?
I might actually listen to this one.
Of the Cereal and Toast Politics podcast?
I might actually listen to the edited version of this one.
Wow. We're making progress. We're making progress. This was, I guess we kept Tonga interested the whole time. With that, I guess I'm gonna leave. Not literally leave call, but I guess we're leaving now. Thank you. Cool.
Bye.
Wait, are you actually leaving?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
No, I screwed myself up again. Well, this is gonna be our cold outro now. I was thinking I need to like just wait for something to happen, but this is the funny.
Sure, cool. Have a cold outro.
Bye.
That is this.
Bye. Okay, we're done. Recording. I'm stopping it.